group in Manchester. All art was representational then, certainly as far as other provincial places do. And the painter Terry McLean was the first in Manchester to everybody's shop to do abstract work. And he and his wife Ida, who taught at Manchester Training College, ran their house as in Heaton as an art centre, and he would take from his different classes promising pupils to the various events in their house. And the approach that he had was that you forget about representation, as long as you fill the space available. Now, that sounds simple until you see somebody trying desperately to do an outline in the corner of a page, and nothing to do that. And it was about feeling one kind of medium against another, just letting the hand wander and enjoying the way that what the medium was doing on the paper. And interesting things like use the full space available, use the empty spaces are as important as the painted spaces, painted shapes. And so Packcroft is particularly good example of that, and knowing when to stop. Now, because you can ruin it, they go on and on. The amazing thing recently, my son, the actor Jason Watkins, he taught me, he's very perceptive, and he must know me, I think, better than anybody, because he taught for Christmas a wonderful book called The Bauhaus Women. Now, for those people who know what the Bauhaus is anyway, it was right at the beginning of the 20th century, it set off the whole of modern 20th century design in all sorts of different areas, architecture, metal. Of course, they shoved all the women into the weaving workshop, but weaving was never the same again, because you look at one of those pieces, and it is just a work of art as good as an abstract piece by the best artists. And they had Paul Klee, Johannes Itten, all these marvellous people, Maholinage as teachers. And even some of the women became masters in the workshop and so on. Fascinating characters, I almost finished it. And what really struck me about it was that it said, it quoted those who live in harmony with the environment could be creatively active. That every person carries this harmony within them and could tap into it by way of exercises, transporting it from the unconscious to the conscious. And that is exactly what Terry was doing, 60 years ago. And I feel so fortunate that a friend said that you make your way to something you really need. So perhaps that, was a two-way process, I don't know. Lots of people are emotionalised about the elements that came about. And it's not until afterwards you think, oh, maybe that's air. I called the fire, I called it Bacchus at first, but it's rather like one of those garlands and mass drinking and so on, everything. But then it's got two titles, it's Bacchus and fire. The season, summer and winter, there are screen prints based on it. I learned screen printing from, when I lived in Iceland, from Erasmo Hernandez, who I met recently in Kew. He's in his 80s. And he went to college with Fernand Léger in Paris as a student. And again, I was very fortunate, and some of the people in his class who were also very good, including Ray Gale, who's a teacher at the comprehensive school, and he just put me onto lots of galleries in West London, who don't, unlike this one, charge rent. But they do ask 40% on the sale. So that makes sure that they try and sell, you see. Which so I'm hoping to move to the Stables Gallery in Richmond and do that. So when I was living and teaching in West London, I drew trees for 5 years, and much of the work here, particularly when I did part 1 of the degree, is based on various of those drawings. And then it was after living in Islington, the thing about Islington is I did lots of different courses, short courses on printmaking, and especially in the wonderful Ormond Road workshop, which unfortunately this council closed down, but I had a good 6 or 7 years of that. And also I went to short courses at Falmouth School of Art, and then as people here know, some people are on the prints of mine, I stole mostly from the studio. So there should be a large mural Four Seasons there, which some people probably see in our house. But this, unfortunately, is doing the congestion charge exam. So if anybody's got to pay their congestion charge, I'd like to give me half an hour to bring that. Because I just couldn't carry it again, it's just too heavy. And so we're bringing it here in the car on Saturday when there's no congestion charge. Right, so I'll now introduce the very, very pleased to say I've got the Heavenly Environment Agency. It's quite suitable for the subject of the exhibition. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Avis. And it struck me that there were really three reasons for wanting to celebrate this opening and your work which is on display here. The first of which is it's just wonderful to see someone who is so much part of Islington being able to display your work here in this very wonderful space. You and Ken have been part of our community in Islington for I think over 20 years. And it's really wonderful that you have the opportunity now to display this work here. The second reason is it's an astonishing variety of work, both in terms of the medium, there's painting, there's silk screen printing, there's gouache, there's batik, and some of these techniques are very, very difficult and painstaking. We were explaining to me the layering of one image on top of another that you have to do in order to create some of these works. So these are the products of a lot of skill, but there's also an astonishing variety of subject and quality of really fine quality of work. And the third reason, of course, is that this is all about our relationship as human beings with the natural world around us. So it sort of puzzled me a little bit as to how, having represented for 22 years the constituency with probably the least amount of green space in the entire country, I've ended up as chairman of the Environment Agency with a rather big responsibility for protecting green space around the whole of England and Wales. But one of the things that I think living here in Islington does is it makes us value all the more the relationship that we have with trees, with birds, with mountains, with the natural world around us. And that sense that you can capture that relationship in art is something that's inspired artists and poets and writers through the centuries. And it's just wonderful to see it very much alive and in evidence here. So, Avis, well done. And good luck for the exhibition.